Hey everyone, so today we're gonna mess around with some pattern making and just do some simple extrusions and hopefully we get something cool to render out. So let's just jump into it. Let's open up a perspective view, type in Grasshopper here, and we're gonna try to do some kind of coral shape stuff. So I'm gonna type in hexagonal. That'll give us kind of a nice grid. Let's type in 10 for the number of cells, so 100 all together there. Then we're going to explode out these curves for their segments. Okay, and then we'll type in random reduce, or random split list, excuse me. And we'll type in curve, just so we can see what we're working with. I'm going to turn off all this. And we need to flatten our random split list. There we go. So you're going to get kind of almost like a circuit board kind of looking thing, but I think we should shift the list a little bit, so I'm going to just type in a number slider 1, and I just don't want too many hexagons actually appearing, so let's get it right maybe in here. So we got, a few, but nothing too crazy. And then from here, what I want to do is type in pipe, mesh pipe. Okay, obviously that's way too big, so let's do like 0.555. Okay, bring that over to here. And then, so basically what I want to do now is just get all the outlines of each one of these pipes. And to do that, we're going to type in shadow. That'll be for shadow mesh, or mesh shadow. And right now you can see it's outlining all the pipes singularly, but we want them to be connected. So what we need to do is type in join the mesh, flatten this down, plug it into our mesh pipe. I'm just going to hide everything that we don't need. We'll plug that into our mesh shadow. Give it a moment. Okay, now you see they're starting to come together. And I don't want a lot of parts touching, so I'm going to lower our radius down even further, maybe like 4.45 probably. Somewhere in there. Looks pretty good. Alright, and then from here, all we're going to do is I want to smooth out each one of those lines. So I'm going to type in fillet. I'm going to make this go a little bit faster because I'm kind of nervous it's going to run us really slow if we don't do like 4 segments for the mesh pipe. So we are getting quite a few jagged lines in there, so obviously we're going to fillet those out. Let's just type in 10. There we go. I wonder what happens if we put 3 for the segment. That's pretty interesting too. Yeah, we can play with that. I don't know if that's cool or is it getting too weird. 4 seems cleaner. Let's try 3 for now. Awesome. And then from here, all I want to do is just type in area, and we're just going to extrude these based on area. So extrude. We're going to go in the Z direction. We're going to extrude each one of those curves. Give it a vector Z. Plug it into the area. This is getting pretty tall, so I'm going to type in division. And let's just divide it by, we'll start off with like 10. Plug that into the Z. That's looking better. We could probably go a little bit taller than that, so let's run it down to, I don't know, somewhere in here. That looks pretty good. So if we bake that out, let's see what it's starting to look like in rendered view. Actually looks pretty sweet. Alright. And let's see here. Let's mirror them. So we get a top and a bottom, so it's not flat on the bottom there. Mirrored in the XY plane. Does it work? Yes, it did. And I'm going to join all these together. Actually, we can just type in mesh join, perhaps. Just keep it simple and easy when we just go to bake it. Oops. We got to put the mesh join with the extrusion too. There we go. I'll hide all that stuff. Let's see what that gets us. The mesh looks pretty good. Oop. Some pretty cool figures starting to emerge already. Okay. And then just to give it a little bit more complexity, what we're going to do is start to layer these all together. So what I'm going to do from here is we're going to copy everything down from the mesh pipe. We're going to leave all the radius or the fillets the same and the segments for now. And we're just going to tap Alt, and that'll duplicate this down. And all we need to do to add a little bit more complexity is just simply mess around with the second radius here. So it's almost like an offset. So if we make it smaller, like maybe we had 4 or something for, what was it, 4, 5? Let's do like 0.2 maybe, right in there. And then we need to use our map to pop that one out even further. So what we'll do is lower the division so we can start to see it coming out from the outside band. Okay, let's see what that looks like. That's looking cool. What's it look like with 4 segments real quick? Might be cleaner. That's what I'm generally thinking. I think 4 looks better. Wonder what happens if we bump it up to 5. Probably nothing crazy difference. Probably just gets a little bit kind of like 4. It's smoother. 3 looks a little too crazy for this one today. Okay, and then what I want to do again, we're just going to take mesh pipe down. We're just going to add a 3rd layer. For this one, we're at 0.2. Let's just bring it down. Let's see, how far do we want to go in? Bring it even lower, just so they're semi-uniform. Bring it even lower. That might be too low. That looks pretty good to me. We'll adjust our division one more time. Make sure it's coming out of the tall parts there. It's kind of confusing what I'm looking at right at the moment. Okay. There we go. Now it's really starting to come out. It's like it found it and then it lost it. Where are we at? I want it to come out even more. That looks pretty good. Let's see what that looks like all baked out. Looks cool from the side. Yeah, that looks pretty sweet. Very cool. Excellent. Yeah, I think we'll just play with this. So that might be it for the Grasshopper stuff. And then from here, I might just leave the inside and the outside meshes as one material. So I'm going to just join those together for now. Then the middle kind of pattern extrusion there, we'll leave it as another. What I'm going to do is just kind of extrude this onto itself. We get some symmetry starting to happen. Obviously, could do this in Grasshopper, but here we can just kind of eyeball it, make it go a little bit faster rather than messing with batteries more and more. That looks pretty cool. And then I might just go around and join the meshes that we have together. Those are all the outside and inside ones, so let's join those. Give it a moment to process. Okay, and then we'll just type in invert, Control J for join. I'll merge the inside materials there. Awesome. And then for the overall scene, what am I thinking? Let's rotate it up. And let's actually, I'm going to go to shaded just so it runs a little bit faster. I'm going to make it a little bit wider. Okay. Maybe rotate it so it's almost on its edge. Okay. Rotate it this way just a bit. And maybe like this. Let's see what that looks like rendered or in Arctic mode. There we go. That's pretty cool looking. And I might just stretch it just so we can fill out the rendering side there. That's looking pretty cool. Wonder if we mirror it one more time. Yeah, we might want to rotate it up. Because the excitement's kind of right here, not down there. I'm going to delete this one out. We're going to rotate it up just a bit. Okay. Mirror it one more time, just like before. It's looking pretty good. This one, I'm going to just stretch it. Not the most parametric thing to do, but it's fine. We're just sculpting now. Okay, I'm just going to slide it over. So I think this will be our view. Something like this. So I'm just going to join the outside materials. I think this is the inside. There we go. Outside inside material. And then we'll join our middle materials there. Give it a second to process. Might want to do this in shaded mode so it's not in Rhino renderer. Might take a little bit longer to process rather than shaded. Alright. Give it just a second. Awesome. Then we'll do our middle material. Let that join. This should go faster. Less geometry. There we go. Still looking good. I'm going to just switch out the materials really quick. So middle material, we'll just treat that as, let's do bronze for now. For that, the process. Let's go to shaded for now. Okay, then we'll change this over to concrete. Oop. Click that, change it. Even the Rhino viewport looks pretty cool. Alright, then we're going to type in bounding box, start to generate our landscape there. I'm going to lock down our model, explode out the box. Okay, let's sprawl this out quite a ways. Type in rebuild. That works, 55 by 55, 3 for the degrees. Turn our points on. And let's do kind of a winter desert scene or something. So I'm just going to draw kind of squiggly lines everywhere. Something like that, maybe. Bring it up. Let's do something kind of spider-like or something like this. Bring that up. Okay, do the same thing. Maybe some smaller ones here. Okay, maybe something similar through here. Bring that up. Awesome. Let's Let's have some, let's type in smooth, I guess. Okay, so this will be our grass layer. Change that out, and then we'll make our sand layer. I'm just going to tap Alt, change that out. And I'm going to just make it a little bit less tall. Actually, this might want to be the sand layer, the other layer be the grass. There we go. Make the grass just a hair taller. Bring it up. There we go. And then our landscape might be a little bit too big for the scale of our model. Bring it all down. I'm going to go, let's see if we can get it to kind of bridge an area. Maybe right here, we'll rotate it. Let's go to Arctic. Actually, we could probably go to rendered boom. Yeah, I think something like this. I think that'll work. So we'll unlock our model and we'll send it over to Lumion. Alright, so here we are in Lumion. We'll start adding some materials in here. Get the grass going. Give it a second to load up. So it did take a little teeny bit longer to load in the Lumion than I expected, but I mean, it must be a semi-heavy model. But alright, in the grass, what I'm going to do is just bring up the grass size so we have it kind of sprinkling into the dirt there. Bring up the length as well. Okay, and maybe the dirt here, let's try out some different options. Could be a swamp too. Swamp could look pretty cool with this. Let's do swamp. What's it look like up close? What's the other swamp? This one looks a little bit too green. I want to bring kind of some brown into here. I'm going to bring up the map scale just a bit. Okay, and then let's get to our model here. Let's do outdoor, let's do the outside as maybe a concrete. Maybe not that concrete. That looks pretty good. This would be, let's try something darker. I wonder if we do aged, kind of iron. And it doesn't pop quite as much. And bronze might look good. I'm gonna bring up the scale on that as well. Not super large, but just large enough. Let's bring up the weathering. So it's copper. Bring that up. Awesome. Why don't we do something a little bit different this time? Let's get our view kind of set up. Custom. Let's try out dawn for now. Okay, we got our real skies on. We're going to make sure our camera's straight. Okay, bring up the focal length quite a bit there. So I'm thinking something like this. Look really cool. Let's go back to our real skies, get the sun shining on our model so we get some nice shadow play. Maybe dawn isn't the one we want. Let's try realistic maybe. The real skies, we'll have to change that out. Let's do a clear day for now. For some reason I look better in the Rhino model. Maybe it's the focal length, maybe. Rhino focal length by default is quite a bit higher than Lumion's default. What are we at, 41? I think by default Rhino's like 50, which is pretty sprawled out. That is just so sprawled out. definitely looking better than what we had it. For the real skies, I'm just gonna change that out. Like, we'll disable it. Let's do FX. Let's get a sun in there. Let's get some clouds rolling. Okay, master cloud amount, bring that all the way up. Get the low clouds kind of swarming through there. It's looking better. Get our sun a little bit lower, it's a little bit too bright. Make sure it's headed on the right spot there. Make it a little bit moody. I'm going to save this camera, but I want to mess with the focal length again. Like I said, in Rhino I look better for some reason. It's not that view. Where are we looking here? Let's go back to what we had. Bring this up. We'll just stick with what we had. That looked actually alright. Alright. This view looks pretty good. Try to get some more ground and all that in here. Excellent. Okay, so we'll save that. Let's put some weather effects in here. Let's get some snow. Bring down the particles, the quantity, size, we'll bring that lower. I'm gonna bring in less snow, just so it's kind of patchy, so we get some grass kind of filtering through. Excellent. The fog, I'm not the craziest about this fog. Alright, and then let's actually just add fog rather. So we do fog density, get it through there, bring the fog fall off down. Excellent. I think we'll start building our scene out just a bit. I wonder if this should be a darker material. We can try that out later. So for this, let's do some conifers. How tall is this? That's pretty tall. Is it Austrian pine? Do a few of these. Get those in our foreground there. Okay, we'll get some out here. Get some on the back side there, and we'll probably use just clusters for the actual background. Fill out the void so it's not such a heavy model. So go over to our clusters there. Yep, these are pines. Pop those through the background here. Just so it fills up some of the void. Oops, we should put some pines there in the central area there. Okay, then we'll get some grass kind of flowing. I'm kind of thinking some kind of darker. I don't know if that even shows up. Bummer. Is it? It did a little bit. So we'll just kind of cluster those actually. Nice and easy clusters. Get some in the swamp areas as well. Very nice. get some through here. Scene can be relatively simple. What else? Maybe get some rough grass. Maybe get some cattails out in some spots. I wonder if they have cattails. Put a couple of these in the swamp area. Foxtails is what they call them here, not cattails. This grass looks pretty nice. It's like the first snow of the season when we get to the rendering part, so some of the grass is still kind of green, kind of just filtering through seasons. Okay. It's like that. And let's get some more of that wild grass kind of popping through. Alright, let's see what that's rendering out like. It's actually looking pretty good. I want to get some more vegetation on the swampland there. So let's go back and let's just get a few things right through here. How big are these? Can't really see it. What other stuff do they have? It might not be rendering a lot of it too. Yeah, it's not. Okay, let's go back to our render view. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm gonna mess with our sun just a bit. Bring it lower so we get even moodier kind of landscape, starting to take on the saturated colors, and everything else seems kind of muted. That looks pretty nice. We're at negative 54. Let's try to get some more shadows onto our scene there. And then I know we took away the snow before, but actually I'm going to bring it up just a bit more. And then the sky and the clouds, since it is snowing, let's make sure it looks like it's snowing. That's looking pretty nice. Almost looks plastic, which is cool. I just want to try something real quick. Let's try this with a darker material. Maybe we'll try the other one with a lighter one material. Okay. Let's go to various. Let's go to this aged iron. And we'll do this as a lighter material like that concrete we had previously. The outdoor, what do we got? Concrete. Let's try that. Try that. It's going to get a little bit moodier. One thing I might do is just change the scale of that aged iron. Go back to materials there. Give it a moment. Okay, we'll play with that just a bit. Let's bring up the relief. Oop. Let's make sure it's pretty aged. It's been out in the weather. That looks pretty good. Okay, while we're here, let's add a few animals and people. Birds. Let's get some seagulls potentially, just because their scale's nice. These people are in coats, so we might go with them. Those people are in short sleeves, we don't want that. I don't know if you'd wear a tie out in the swamp. People with coats, come on. these people have coats. You barely see them. I'm going to put them on the land here. I'm going to fake their scale, make them a little bit smaller. And then I'm actually going to drop them down so they look like they're actually in the landscape, looking at whatever this is. Excellent. Let's do a final kind of render pass on this. Looks pretty good. What about those high clouds? So we bring those up. Then the precipitation. That looks pretty good to me. Let's see what it looks like rendered. Oop, not that. Or fully rendered, I should say. That's looking pretty cool. Might do a couple little material changes just because it looks almost too cartoony, I guess. We might need to add some more plants throughout here. But other than that, I think it's looking great. Let's go ahead and just add those plants. We can just do kind of maybe small patches of larger plants underneath kind of the structure here. Just looks a little barren. Let's go back to our grass. Get this stuff out in here. And why not add a tree trunk? Why not put it right in the center there? Let's rotate it so we can see it. Let's get some dead plants kind of around it. Smaller ones. Maybe a couple through here. And let's try one more material change. I don't mind the aged iron. It's just, like I said, it just looks a little too not concrete, cartoonish. I wonder if we go with something more polished. Aged bronze. Let's just try it. That almost looks alright. It's not perfect. Maybe it's the sun too. Almost like it's just pure white again. Not a lot of gloss, potentially. Okay, we'll go back. Go to our outdoor, not plaster, concrete. Try this concrete one more time. Let's switch this out. Let's just go back completely where we were. We'll do gold this time. This could be it. Yeah, I kind of like it. What if we just go full black rather than aged stuff? Won't be able to see anything, but let's just try it. Or if we go, nah, that won't work either. Give it one more try. Otherwise, we'll go with the white. Let's go indoor stone, potentially. I got a dark one. Try this. Okay. This could be it. Yeah, let's go ahead and render that. I think this is it. It looks great. I like the little snow details that are starting to pop out. Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and head to Photoshop. Alright, so one thing we're going to do is just really lighten the heck out of this overall, just so we get some extra detail within the structure. As usual, what I want to do is just hit Control J. Let's test out the auto tone. It might brighten it up way too much. Maybe a mixture between the two. Let's try the auto color. Nothing really happened. I'm going to just lower it because I did like some of those pinkish hues in the sky there. I'm just going to flatten that out. Alright, Control J again, and then I'm just going to use the burn and dodge tool. Just kind of come around, highlight some of the curvilinear areas throughout the scene here, highlight some of that gold that starts to pierce through here. That's looking pretty nice. Get some nice greens kind of popping out here, boost up the saturation just a hair. Darken out all of those areas. There we go. Doesn't have to be everywhere. That looks pretty nice. And one thing I just want to try one more time, or one thing, is in the filter gallery. Let's go to the diffuse glow. See if it'll highlight some of the areas on our structure there. So I'm just going to bring up the glow amount, see if it does anything for us. If not, we'll just go back. It doesn't really do anything. So we'll just go ahead and use the burn tool. I was hoping it would highlight some things on the structure, but it might not be picking them up, so which is fine. And then we'll go ahead and vignette this, and I believe we'll be all set and ready to go. So thanks for watching. If you made it this far, please like and subscribe, and post your stuff to Instagram. Love seeing your work, and just throw me in a hashtag and or at mentions, and definitely love to see it. So I will talk with you soon. Thanks for watching.